Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something really spicy, so if you need to send me that hate mail, you can drop it in the comments. I swear I will read them, but it's going to be rough. So trigger warning, not trigger warning, be aware that this is going to be a rough topic today. Here's why. Today we're talking about, can AI replace women in relationships? Yes, today we're diving into a brutal topic that challenges the traditional notions of dating, marriage, and spousal relationships. I'm Adam Lane Smith, and I make better relationships. Today, I want to explore the potential of AI and robotic entities to replace various aspects of human interactions. In this case, specifically focusing on, could AI and AI robots create better companions for men who are looking for women but are unsatisfied in the current dating market? I've seen this exact debate online all the time, people screeching, yes, AI are instantly going to replace women the moment there's a robot suitable for it. And women come and say, this is the dumbest and most demeaning thing I've ever heard. There is no way. And they list the reasons. I've heard this debate happening a lot, so I want to dive into it and have an honest conversation with you guys about it. Because while these ideas may seem outlandish, it's essential to consider them as we navigate the complexities of modern dating. It's a nightmare out there, and this conversation is happening, so I want us to have it in a way that's responsible, considerate, and honest. So let's dive deeper into this intriguing discussion together. Now, sidebar. Throughout this exploration, we're going to examine how AI could potentially impact different aspects of dating and relationships. This is going to get heated. I'm just going to warn you now. And some of you may be deeply uncomfortable with the things that we're going to talk about here today. Remember, our goal is not to take sides or to provide definitive answers of yes, this one is great. No, that one could never happen. Today, instead, I want to take this opportunity to engage in thoughtful reflection and discuss the implications, advantages, and potential challenges that AI could bring to the realm of dating and marriage. I want to explore both sides. Is it possible? And if so, what are the implications? And we're going to do this in 10 key points that people are talking about, that experts are talking about. A lot of people are having this conversation. 10 key points, the top 10 things that people are really pointing out when they have this conversation. I want us, you and me, to have this conversation so we can all get on the same page and explore what's really happening. We can talk about acceptability of it, and we can argue about human dignity another time when we have a debate. For now, let's just examine each argument as they go and then build the conversation together. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss a relationship resource. And keep in mind, my comment section is always open 24 hours a day. I love reading those comments, and that is where a lot of this conversation is going to take place. So at any point during this video, if you want to make a point or ask a question, or you think something is stupid or you think it's brilliant, drop down in the comments and let me know. I am totally open to having that conversation with you. That's the point of this video, is for us to talk. Okay, ready? Deep breath. Let's start. Point number one I want us to talk about: artificial wombs and redefining parenthood. One consideration we have to talk about, and the biggest one that people think about, is the concept of artificial wombs, especially AI robots who can carry a child for you, which would redefine the way that we perceive parenthood. Imagine a future where single men no longer have to rely on finding a woman at all to create a child, thanks to advancements in reproductive technology. Artificial wombs could provide an alternative path to fatherhood, revolutionizing the traditional notion of starting a family. Guys, instead of having to go out and date, could find one of these robots or rent one for a period of time, rent one in their home, order one off of Amazon, and do this, right? They have wine-making kits. Maybe next they'll have baby-making kits. It's possible. This debate is happening, and there's a lot to talk about here. But in this scenario, men would have the opportunity to experience the joys and challenges of pregnancy, maybe, if they implanted themselves with one, and childbirth, if they chose that route, or going through it together in an incubator, watching the child grow. You could actually have, what is it, a womb with a view? You could literally have a womb with a view and watch your child grow. It would be the new Netflix. You could just drink popcorn, eat popcorn, drink popcorn in the future, probably too, and just watch your baby grow in the test tube for, 10 months or whatever, and then bang, baby's there. It could be interesting. It would create a unique bond with that child from the very beginning. So many fathers, and I myself, I have 4 children already, watching the mother's stomach grow. Okay, cool. But it's so disconnecting because you don't have that experience as much of seeing the child move, feeling it. The mother experience is usually so much different. Watching the child would make it so much more tangible. I think, for some fathers. It'd be very interesting at the very least. It could open up some new possibilities, by the way, for single fathers, very busy businessmen who don't have time to build a relationship but want an heir or a child, same-sex couples, and individuals who face biological limitations. There's a lot of things that this could do. We must, however, ponder the potential benefits of artificial wombs and expanding the definition of parenthood and the opportunities it brings for those longing to nurture and raise children. Some people want children and can't have them for a number of reasons. While this idea does raise questions about the role of men and women in reproduction, it's important to remember the profound emotional connections that exist within the context of a biological relationship. We have to bear in mind the significance of the bond formed during pregnancy, right? I'm thinking about children for 9-10 months. You hear your mother's heartbeat. It sets all kind of precedents, and then you're born seeking your mother. There's all kinds of pieces that go in. It's a basic creation process of the human entity, the human life. That mother's nurturing presence, the unique experiences shared within a family unit, these could be lost. The potential benefits of artificial wombs, therefore, have to be weighed against the complexities and the depth of human connections. How are humans going to form and function when they have no biological mother? Have babies been born and the mom died? Yes, absolutely. Have babies been removed from their mothers? Yes. We tend to see a lot of attachment issues in those cases. It's very possible. Could we potentially navigate around those knowing that those were going to be there? Maybe if you were proactive about attachment forming, it's possible. These are things we'd have to talk about. Human wombs it's not as simply as boom, you plug in an embryo, bang, you get a baby, everything's perfect, that child is healthy and formed and everything's fantastic. There's a lot of complexities that go into this that we'd have to talk about. Which brings us to point number 2. Another consideration is the potential for downloadable caregiving routines that AI robots could possess, specifically tailored to provide exceptional care for motherhood. Imagine a world where an AI entity effortlessly handles the demands of motherhood, ensuring the well-being and development of that child. Robot moms. Could this get around that initial opening problem of, hey, I was born and now I seek mother's comfort? Is that possible? Could you tailor it? Babies, one of their strongest senses is actually smell. Could you tailor an AI robot that smells like they would expect a mother to smell? Interesting thought. You could, maybe, with sufficient technology, create that process so that the robot mother was indistinctive from biological mother. It's very possible. In this scenario, AI could offer specialized expertise and unwavering patience in caregiving. With precise routines and algorithms, these AI entities could provide consistent and constant attentive care, meeting the needs of children at every stage of their growth. Such technology could relieve the burden on parents, allowing them to balance their careers and personal lives more effectively. Think of this. If you're a single father and you want to have a child, do you want to marry a biological woman and have a child and then she has to go to work so you pay a daycare worker to raise your child for you? Or do you want to pick up a robot caregiver who is going to provide constant nurturing as if it was a stay-at-home mom? Especially with all the programming conditions that we had talked about just a moment ago. It's something interesting to think about. I'm not saying it's the right path, but it is an interesting thing we do have to discuss. This does raise questions about the long-term effects, though, on a child's emotional development and the significance of human nurturing. Again, we don't know what a human raised by an AI might look like, how their attachment may be. Could you be generating endless sociopaths? It's possible. Now, while this idea may seem appealing of creating these robot entities that care for children so perfectly, in terms of that high-quality care, it's crucial to recognize the significance of the human touch and the unique bond that forms between mother and child. I'm thinking of my wife and her overwhelming awareness of how our children feel and going to them and nurturing them, drawing things out from them. I don't know if an AI could do that. That's something interesting. An AI wouldn't have the oxytocin bonding with that child to drive them to do that. We might be able to create that through programming. If they did, how important would that be to the AI to do that? And then would the AI be capable of doing that? Would the AI be intuitive enough to do that? Would the child respond in the right way? Interesting. The nurturing and emotional support provided by a human caregiver, though, play integral roles in that child's development, so the AI would be helping them develop. We have to contemplate the potential consequences of relying solely on these AI entities for that caregiving, especially considering the need for human connection, empathy, and the role of parental love. Now, assuming the father is still there, they're still going to get human connection, but what if they don't have a mom? Could this replace that mom? We'll have to think about that. Which brings us to point number 3. Abuse-free relationships that ensures safety and trust. One advantage of AI entities and relationships is the guarantee of a partner or caregiver who will never abuse that child or their partner. In a world where AI is programmed to prioritize the well-being and safety of those involved, individuals can find solace in the idea of abuse-free relationships. AI could provide a sense of security, offering reliable companionship without the risk of emotional or physical harm. It would ensure an environment of trust and respect, free from the vulnerabilities and complications that human relationships can sometimes entail. However, we must contemplate the broader implications of relying solely on AI companionship and the potential drawbacks of replacing human emotions and interpersonal dynamics with algorithms and calculations. Here I'm thinking especially about my coaching clients who've come in with severe emotional and physical abuse from the past, men and women, who might be way more comfortable in a relationship with an AI robot who is programmed not to be able to do those things. That safety factor could be really big for some people. Plenty of men cannot report or feel they can never report abuse by a woman, and many men are not taken seriously if they do report it. So this might be one consideration that's pretty high on the list. However, it's essential to consider the broader implications of relying solely on AI companionship. Human relationships do involve complexities, growth, and the opportunity for personal transformation. So while the idea of abuse-free interactions is appealing, and while abuse should never be tolerated, it's crucial to reflect on the emotional depth, the understanding, and shared experiences that come from more genuine human interactions. In the name of safety, you might be losing something important. Would you watching, feel more safe with a programmed AI companion? I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments. This brings us to a really spicy one. Please don't send a hate mob at me for this one, but it is something that people have talked about. Number 4, maid routines. A lot of men and women look at the role of domestic service as one show of love. The old cliche is the loving wife who irons her husband's work clothes or who cooks him a delicious meal to uplift his spirits. Yes, it feels a little bit sexist sometimes to say women can cook and clean and that's their role and that's why AI can never take over. But plenty of people online are having this conversation. Who would give you this love? Who would cook you loving meals? My AI robot. These are discussions happening online. We need to be realistic about talking about them. Yes, AI could revolutionize household chores with maid routines that automate cooking and cleaning tasks. Imagine a home where all domestic responsibilities are seamlessly handled by robotic entities, ensuring efficiency and freeing up time for other pursuits. Now, in this scenario, the burden of household chores would be significantly reduced for everybody, allowing individuals to focus on personal growth and leisure activities or quality time with their loved ones. This could give parents, fathers in this case, more focused time with their child instead of having to take care of all these routines. I know plenty of single dads who are dying under the load of caretaking, home domestic pieces, cooking, cleaning, the laundry. It's tough. There's a lot. This would streamline daily routines and increase productivity and reduce stress levels for everybody. However, we must consider the importance of shared responsibilities, collaboration, the sense of accomplishment that comes from actively participating in the management of a household. What is lost if all of us don't work together in some capacity? I'm not saying that these chores are keeping us alive or keeping us together. I'm just saying, what is lost when we automate everything in our lives? What does your child learn? While this concept does offer convenience and time-saving benefits, it's important to acknowledge the cultural and personal significance of sharing those responsibilities within the relationship. The division of labor and the opportunity to participate in household activities together contributes to the growth and intimacy of a partnership. As we consider the potential benefits of maid routines, let's also reflect on the value of shared experiences, collaboration, and the emotional connections formed through these daily interactions, as well as showing love for each other by doing these kindnesses for each other. There's something to be said about that. Point number 5, we're finally getting to it, and I know this one's going to be spicy. A lot of guys fear rejection in the bedroom, so now we need to talk about seamless intimacy with a companion that never says no. Other guys, instead of just fearing rejection in the bedroom, are actually being rejected by their partner right now, and they don't understand why. Very loving husbands who have wives who are not interested, guys who are being turned down for things, and some others just don't share their partner's desires or level of libido. Sometimes couples are mismatched in this area, and there's a lot of reasons that can be. I've helped tons of couples on this with my coaching, and it usually can get very much better, but imagine if you didn't have to do that work. AI has the potential to define intimacy in a whole new way, providing seamless and enjoyable experiences without that fear of rejection or complications that people are afraid of. The notion of easily accessible and pleasurable sexual encounters may be are very enticing to some, and some people are just waiting for a sex robot to come out. Now, in this scenario, AIs could cater to individual desires, creating an environment where sexual satisfaction is readily available. We already have massive pornography channels and overwhelming amounts of masturbation. Adding this in seems like the next step for many people. This could remove that anxiety surrounding intimacy, and it could promote exploration and fulfillment. However, we have to contemplate the deeper emotional connections, vulnerability, and growth that come from shared experiences and genuine human connections. This does raise questions also about the significance of emotional intimacy and the complexities of long-term relationships beyond just that simple physical pleasure that everybody's looking for. It's crucial to recognize the importance of emotional connection, vulnerability, and shared experiences that deepen that intimacy between two beings. Human relationships involve complexities and nuances that contribute to personal growth, discovery, and the exploration of one's desires. While AI may offer a surface-level solution, it's essential to contemplate the significance of the emotional and spiritual aspects of intimacy that can only be experienced in the context of a genuine human connection. Have you ever had a partner where your sexual desires didn't match up and it ruined things? Was that a big enough issue that an AI companion could be a game changer for you? Let me know in the comments, because I'm actually really curious now. There's plenty of people that this is the case. Tell me in the comments if this is a big game changer. Tell me if you're waiting for the sex robot. Otherwise, tell me if you think that's creepy. I would also love to hear that. Point number 6 to think about is emotional companionship. As we navigate this discussion, let's examine another fascinating aspect: the emotional companionship piece. AI, with its potential to learn and adapt from human interactions, might offer an unprecedented level of emotional support that's missing for many men in their modern relationships. In this context, imagine an AI partner who's always there for you, always willing to listen, and never exhausted or emotionally unavailable. The consistency and reliability of an AI companion may seem appealing in that context for men and women. There are plenty already of chat programs, including virtual girlfriend programs, that fall in love with you over time. I just saw an ad for one the other day because I was doing this research, and all of a sudden I started slammed with ads for chat GPT programmed women and female partners and AI and anime girls and everything that is already out there. I got DMs from people. I was going to talk about this. I posted this on Twitter, and I got DMs from people saying, hey, I'm already chatting with those things, and we've been talking about these. I'm in this community for this. It was incredible, the amount of information that's out there for virtual girlfriends. I remember back in the early 2000s, a gentleman in Japan married a video game character. There's a lot of this already happening, and we haven't even got much technology for it yet. Guys are already craving this, and the tech hasn't even caught up yet. So what happens when the tech does catch up? This level of consistent, positive regard without pausing for, I hate to say it, hormone cycles, or putting up with bad moods, or fights, or disagreements, or trying to make her like you enough to care about you, or being afraid if it's okay to cry in front of her, or being afraid to be vulnerable. There's a huge discussion right now happening about how men can never ever be vulnerable because women will turn on you in a moment. This is happening online. There's a big argument happening right there. So this is encouraging a lot of men to look for that support in their life somewhere else. Now, while this scenario may paint an appealing picture to some people, we also have to question the depth of an AI's emotional understanding. Can an algorithm truly replicate the empathy, warmth, and authenticity of human emotions? How will the dynamics of a relationship change when one participant doesn't have personal emotions but merely replicates them? And what about the realization that this is not a human you're interacting with? Can you convince yourself that an algorithm loves you? Do you care? Right? Immersion is an important piece of this. What do you do if there is no immersion? How do you convince yourself that you are fine? How do you never break that immersion? If it's a constant Netflix show that you're watching 24/7, you hate it when the immersion's broken, how many times can that immersion be broken? What do you do when it gets broken? How do you convince yourself that it's okay? Lot to talk about. Point number 7, communication and understanding. This is a big one. Big one for me, especially because I'm a communication expert here. Now, moving forward, let's consider the aspects of communication and understanding because they're big. AI entities could be potentially reprogrammed to fully understand and respond to human desires. This would reduce the misunderstandings that often arise in human interactions. Hey, here's what I want. You really want that? Hey, here's what I'm thinking. How dare you? All kinds of misunderstandings happen, and it's really ugly. Now imagine a person who never misunderstands you and never jumps to conclusions. They always ask for clarity, and every single time they are always upfront about their own situation. You have endless context and you never wonder. Imagine a relationship without misinterpretations at all, where your partner understands exactly what you mean every time you speak. Actually, that sounds kind of nice. However, we need to reflect on the potential repercussions that this could bring. Would that lack of conflict and misunderstanding limit personal growth and the chance to improve communication skills that human relationships offer? If you never ever are misunderstood no matter what, what's going to make your communication skills grow so that when you do have to talk to other human beings, you actually have skills? If you get lazy with a program that chases you down to understand you, how are you going to talk to real people? That's a possibility. Especially if you're raised by an AI who does this and you never learn how to clarify yourself. If you never learn how to clarify with someone else. You're raised in an artificial womb, raised by a wet nurse, a mother, basically a robot mother. You see your father on the weekends when he's home, and you love him, and it's great, and you may have to do some clarification there, but the vast majority of your time is completely frictionless and safe. Humans don't learn very well in a frictionless environment. We learn from friction and from misunderstandings and from having to grow. If there's no reason to grow, do we grow? Or does everybody walk around like perpetual toddlers forever? Something to think about. Can an AI ever really understand you? This is the other piece I want to make here. What's the purpose of being understood in a relationship by another human being? Usually it's to be accepted. Can an AI accept you? Does an AI's acceptance mean anything? Big question. I don't have an answer right now. I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Can an AI accept you, and would it matter? Number 8, ageless companions. Yeah, here's a thought that we often overlook when we consider AI partners. They don't age or die. You know all those shows, Lord of the Rings, as the elf woman is alive forever and the dude dies with really fast, or that can happen. How would this reality affect the dynamics of a long-term relationship if she's going to outlive you? What happens after you die? What happens to her? Do you care? Where does she go? Does she get pounded down for scrap? Does she get reassigned to a new man? I'm thinking of the brutal red pill. It's she's not yours. It's just your turn. This would really hammer that home. Or does she get, demolished and cremated alongside you, and now she's going to die? And how would AI feel about that if they had any feeling at all? And if they didn't, what kind of relationship would that build? It's tricky. Now imagine sharing your life with a partner who remains ageless completely while you grow old. This could bring a sense of continuity to your life. Yeah, she's always been there and she's always been hot. But it's also an unavoidable divergence in shared experiences, and one continues to age and the other one remains constant. One of you is going to get old and complain and grumpy and crackly when you move, and how are you going to feel about that? Is there a human aspect that's lost when we eliminate that shared journey of growing old together? Gosh, I'm thinking about my wife. We've been married for 14 years now, and the changes that have happened, being able to process those changes together. I don't really process those as much with my guy friends, I guess. I got hair there and hair there, but talking about it day to day with your partner, it goes to a different level. It's a little bit different. I don't know if anyone out there has experienced that. Now, with this consideration in mind, yes, you would always have a hot girlfriend or robot wife or whatever they would call them at this point, concubines, I have no idea. But that she would care about you in this approach and always be hot, but is that what humans actually want? Is that what you want? Now, I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. Aging or ageless? Which one's hotter? Which one do you like more? Which one feels more natural to you? Which one is preferable? Now, point number 9, another crucial aspect to consider is physical appearance and attractiveness. Yeah, this is a big one. AI entities can be customized to fit individual physical preferences. Now, I've heard some weird physical preferences out there. This AI is going to look different. But how would this impact societal standards of beauty and men's expectations of women's physical appearances? If everything was 100%, right, disconnect that piece, snap that other piece on, it's going to create a weird concept of physical beauty. It's going to be weird. Imagine a world where everybody's partner aligns with their ideal physical preferences. Oh man, I'm thinking of just like some of the weirdest combos people are going to come up with, just because on one hand, that could increase personal satisfaction for the person who, I guess, what's the right word, owns the robot. On the other hand, that might promote unrealistic expectations and body standards. How would this technology impact our acceptance and appreciation for natural human beauty and diversity? And for people scoffing at this, guys, I want you to imagine you use your artificial womb to create a daughter. She is raised by an absolutely perfectly flawless robot mother who outperforms her beauty in every single way, and your daughter is never going to look as beautiful as that robot. She looks around at all your guy friends who all have flawless beauty robots, and she can only compare herself to them. What's that going to do to her? Yes, guys can laugh at it when it's you, but what if it's the women in your family? You could, in this concept, here's something to think about. You could even download celebrities and models, as we've seen in plenty of science fiction shows. But where does this blur the line? For example, if you and your best friends all share the same celebrity with your companions, and you have 5 of you have the same one female celebrity and they all look the same, does your relationship feel unique? Or does this break that immersion for you? Hey, we're all banging the same robot chick. No, wait, they're different. Wait, which one's mine? Wait, this can get a little weird. You might not want to be around your friends and their robot friends. You know, if you have to leave her at home in the broom closet, man, make her go in the bathroom. I can't look at her. It could look weird, and it could get weird, and it almost certainly would break the immersion for a lot of people, if you care. Now, customizability and perfection leading to losing the human touch is point number 10. I want to close on this one. Let's contemplate the level of customization and perfection that AI partners could potentially provide, apart from just body pieces and body image issues. AI entities can be programmed to match a user's preference in terms of personality, hobbies, opinions, and more. So many customizable pieces. Now imagine being with someone who perfectly aligns on all of your preferences. Everything. Every physical piece, every emotional piece, everything is perfect all the time. Does such precision and predictability remove a sense of spontaneity, discovery, delight, and organic growth inherent in human relationships? Would you get bored of perfection? We need to ponder whether the idea of a perfect partner might actually detract from the richness of that genuine, flawed human connection where you learn about each other and accept each other and love each other. At what point does this perfection creep you out? It could shatter that immersion. Would you want to see more imperfections or program imperfections in order to see that you're living in reality? Does imperfect perhaps, in fact, become more valuable? This is a discussion happening in the art world right now. As AI is generating art and getting better and better and better, is imperfect art going to gain in value? Are we going to be looking at human imperfections as amazing, real pieces that people will pay more for? It's possible. I'm thinking of mass-produced dishes versus handmade dishes. And you say, well, look at the imperfections. These are cool, but they're unique. Every plate is unique. That's pretty cool. People actually crave that already. Mass-produced versus hand-produced. Now, as we've explored these 10 possibilities, I want to emphasize the goal of this discussion has been to provoke thought, encourage discussion, and gain a deeper understanding of the potential impact of AI in dating and marriage. I am not here to take a stance for or against this topic. I've been married to my wife for 14 years, and I am in no hurry to replace her with a seductive Roomba. But I can understand why many men in the modern dating nightmare might look for alternate options or avoid having their life ruined in this quest for love. I invite you to share your thoughts, concerns, and perspectives on these possibilities in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Like I said, this is an open discussion that I want to start with all of you. This is already happening, and we need to talk about it in an honest, open, connected way. It's important for me to hear from you. Please comment and let me know. Any part of this video has touched you or made you think or creeped you out, comment and let me know. Remember that this discussion is about exploring possibilities, sharing perspectives, and engaging in a thoughtful dialogue about the role of AI in our relationships. Your insights contribute to a comprehensive conversation that helps shape our understanding of this complex topic, so please don't hold back. One more time, post. Where do you stand on this topic? Drop down in the comments and let me know, and reply to someone else while you're there. Let's have a conversation going about this topic and get it going. I want to jump in there and see threads of people discussing it. Reasonably, respectfully, debate in the comment section. I will join you and we'll have a great discussion about this. And I will see you in the next video.